Hi, I'm some guy on the internet whose name happens to be Mike Hogue, and I want to continue to talk about my personal life transformation charrette that I'm in the middle of here, using some tools at the beginning of the year to help me plan out my coming months. And I thought I would do it in a public sort of way where you can all kind of watch and follow around with my little permaculture transformative process. These are some tools that have been very helpful to me over the years, and this time I want to talk about how we take all of our plans, now that we have some of them, and we're going to turn them into a process that will where we'll actually get stuff done. I call those transformative adventures. And this is just sort of a research based way of getting stuff done, as we'll talk about. So, again, this links back to this thing. And you kind of see the M looking mountain outline in what we've been looking at. So it's actually the symbol for transformation and the symbol for adventure put together, and the symbol of for transcendence as well. So those things together give us the symbol for something that's going to change our lives, and it's going to be action based. It's going to be something that's an adventure for us. And we'll talk about how to design that and why. So, again, this symbol, the life transformation compass, starts with the base layer representing our minds, which means that we come to this work, like our work in the garden and any other work that's important to us, with four qualities. First, just being calm and relaxed, being able to relax on the spot here and settle in. Second, to be able to focus in with attention in this moment. Third, to be energized and uplifted. And finally, to just come to it with a positive, happy attitude. An attitude that we're content to be who and where we are right here in this moment. Next, the base layer after that is represents the world, which both means our actual physical world and working to create a better one for everyone. And secondly, our own personal relationship with the world, which is our local environment, making sure that we have an environment that's conducive to our growth and having a happy life. The next thing that we have are these two symbols, which represent having a path for self actualization and personal growth, and having something that we're doing for to create a better community and a better world. These two things work very well together. So we see in the moon above this, having something to do for a better life and a better world. So hopefully we've been writing some of these things down. Do you have a path of something to do for your mind? For me, I've been thinking about that. I've had a long-term meditation practice. I've been thinking about making sure that I was getting back into that. So it's going to be something to do with my meditation practice. I could also consider going to a yoga class or doing something like that. So I'll just leave those out there. I have some ideas. Notice, I don't want to assume that I've got all this stuff figured out. Why would I be doing this sort of process if I did? It's great to just have ideas and to throw them out there. And it's better to have ideas than to think we know the answers to everything. The next, moving up, the next part is a secure or a supportive environment. Now, since I am looking at moving into a period where I might not have my own garden for a while for the first time in like 2 decades or something, then this is what I really need to focus on. You'll notice this compass tool can kind of help us really focus in on what we need to really work on. And for me, this is a part I'm really concerned about. Not having a garden, not having this thing. This also is important for this next set of pyramids here, which is about physiological and safety needs and all that. So I'll get to that in a second. Um, but so this, what I'm thinking is I'm going to have, some, like I'd like to be foraging more. I'd like to find some places to be in um, that will be spiritually nourishing for me. And I talked about more about this in the past video. So when it comes to this set, here I have, a path for self-actualization and personal growth, and a path for community growth. Now, I personally feel that the work that I've been doing with growing free and some of these tools, um, I feel those are important, and a lot of people are communicating to me that those are changing their lives and having a positive impact. So that's what I'm thinking. I want to keep working on that for this right side. So my path of community good is to continue to work on growing the growing free work, and I also want to work on some materials to help people have gardens that are free from poisons, plastics, and pesticides, plastics, and petroleum products. So those are my two big things right now. On the left side, I'm really focusing in on that. I'm not entirely sure yet where I'll be living. So and it's going to be the first time when I usually make my money off plants and produce. I'm basically I grow plants and sell them, and food and sell it. So this will be the first time in a while when I won't have that as a stream of income. So I'm feeling like I definitely need to focus in my work here on some of the bottom of this pyramid here, really looking into things like around my income for a change, and safety needs and housing needs. And I'm going to be moving, so I'll probably need to focus in again on community actualization and need to belong. So you know, so what am I going to be doing for those things? I'm not exactly sure yet, but that's definitely going to be a place where I'm shining the spotlight with this compass. So, and of course, this really kind of can help me see into this solid base idea. So I could start with something like path of self-actualization and community actualization. And like I said, I feel that the growing free work that I've been doing is really important with this, and we do have plans to continue to work on that stuff. So I feel like something around that is going to come out of it, but it's not. I don't feel like it's quite there yet. I feel like this needs some more thinking. I need to be able to turn it into actual tangible action. So this next step is where we do that. Oh, that's pretty. And this is about where we create these transformative adventures. So now I have this list of some things that I vaguely want to work on in my life. But to create real lasting change, we need to actually do stuff. This is one of, I think, the big current critiques, constructive critiques that will help permaculture grow, is going from this idea that we have a design, we have an idea, and turning it into actual physical action that actually gets things done and creates real, meaningful, lasting change. So, because we've seen a lot of people who will get a PDC and then they will never transform their landscape. Why? Usually it's because we've created a goal, but we don't have a system for actually meeting that goal. So the idea here kind of came out from another older permaculture concept, the idea of action learning, which is that we learn best by doing stuff. And it's very influenced also by the science of behaviorism, which says, a lot of times we think that to change our lives, we have to change our minds, change our ideas. But that's not true. Usually, it's the opposite way around. We change our minds by starting to change our behaviors. Behavior action is the leverage point, not our ideas. So, the permaculture idea, in a sense, of focusing in on our ideas is not a leverage point. Instead, we want to turn that into transformative action. So, the structure of a transformative adventure is outlined here. We start with a cause to quest. We start with a problem to be overcome, a specific way life can be enhanced. So, just to pick one of the random ideas off the top of my head as I shoot this video, I was thinking about my spiritual path. And of course, I've had a practice for a long time. So, maybe something to do with that. The problem is just having a practice in a lot of ways does not create lasting change because because we get used to it. We get old. We get in a rut. You know, if you work out, you know that you have to have progressive overload. You have to progress with your workouts, or they stop being as effective. And it's the same thing in almost everything in our life. So I know that just telling myself, I need to practice more, is not going to get me there. I need something else, a specific way life can be enhanced. So that's fascinating already. So I want to try to turn this idea of just having practicing more into something different. So maybe I'll be honest, I don't really know what that is yet. So I think my first cause to quest, my first problem, is that I need to find some new way, some new adventure that I can go on, something new that I can focus on for a while with my practice. So for example, I've done like sitting in the dark for a while. I've done different kinds of meditation. So I think my first cause here is to adventure and go out and think again and explore what some different ways, new ways of practice that might be exciting to me, that will help bring new enthusiasm and excitement back to my practice. So now I have an adventure, right? I have a cause to quest, and the peak of motivation. So the second quality here is that this has to be something that's exciting to me. And I'll tell you, I just literally came up with this thought and this idea while I was sitting here. I'm already excited about it. And it's been a while since I've done that. Really kind of explored a little and come up with, explored looking into some different types of meditation and practice and finding something I want to experiment with and seeing what I can do. The next thing is that it relates again to the solid base. And yes, I would say that even just right off the bat, this is something that is going to help me moving forward into a time of uncertainty feel a little more secure. But can I help it fit this even more? Can I turn this into something that's also related to community actualization and building connection with people? Maybe I can. Maybe there's some community that's doing a form of meditation or a form of something like this that I can connect with, so that I can turn this into more than just a personal, quiet thing, and which isn't necessarily bad. But if I can use this adventure to help me to connect with other people, I think that's all the better. So now I'm starting to think, okay, great, I'm going to look for something that I can do, but maybe also see if there's some community that I can connect to about it and learn from. This will also build community for me. All right, I'm starting to get a thing. That's a thing. The next idea is that there's a specific goal that can be achieved. Well, I don't exactly know what that would be yet, but I want to know whatever I try to do, I want to try to set some kind of a goal for it so that I can hold myself accountable. I guess for this first adventure, it might be to find and identify some group of people I can connect with and something that I want to do, right? So when I have that done, I have achieved that goal. And finally, a great adventure, a transformative adventure, has an end to it, which means I put a date on this, I periodize this adventure. Ooh, I'm going to put some pressure on myself and say 2 weeks. I think this is a really important one. I would love to have this figured out in 2 weeks. Then I can come back and set another adventure of a sort, which would probably be beginning that sort of a practice and trying a practice for maybe 3 months. So now I've basically just given myself homework, and this tool helped me do that. And think about when we say that it's transformative, you see how if I do this thing, it will have caused a real legitimate change in my life, right? I will have a thing and I will be doing a new thing. And if I can then take that practice and practice it for 3 months, I will have maybe built a new habit or learned something very new. So, this is how we go from just having the ideas to turning them into actually creating change in our lives. I could go on a lot more about this. This, to me, is a real powerful tool. And it's something that I feel has been lacking from, and used to lack from my permaculture practice. And now that I have it, it's something that really does cause change in my life. So, there it is. That is the form and structure of a transformative adventure. Next, we'll be talking about moving up towards the top of our compass. All right.